Hello my beautiful people. So as you can see, different layout yet again. I feel like there's been so many changes recently. The reason I'm doing things differently this week is because it needs to be relevant, right? I believe that we incarnate when and where we choose to incarnate, because we understand that that time, that moment in time, the people that we're born to, that we interact with, that we come into contact with, are going to provide the right conditions and impetus for us to take the journey that our soul truly wants and needs to take. If you were born at this time, and it's an unprecedented time for a lot of people, if you were born at this time, you will be, or you're here at this time, should I say, you're here for a reason to experience this in some way, shape or form. This means that your soul signed up for this. And in order to keep it relevant, I want to help people understand, what is it that your soul is trying to learn right now? A lot of people are being forced to take stock, to stand still. The old contracts, the old world, the old spiritual contracts, it's all breaking down in favor for something new that is coming through now, for a new way of being, a new way of understanding, a new sense of connection. New connections are about to be forged. New ways of doing everything are about to be forged. So, the fact that a lot of us are either sort of on lockdown or having to stay still, having to take a moment. I talked about this in my daily email, if you get it, if you're on my list. And what I talked about was this moment where so many people are being forced to stop, to put their feet on the ground and say, right, okay, what do I think about this? What do I really feel is the next step for me? Why is it that this is taking place? What is my soul trying to learn? And I kind of see this time, when a planet goes retrograde, it sort of takes its journey and then it slows down. And then as it slows down, it starts to come to a stop, and it stations, and then its energy is magnified. What happens under a retrograde, backward, looking back, going over, reassessing, reevaluating, redoing, lots of rewords, rediscovery, remembering, bringing things from the past back for examination to be looked at, re-examining things, right? All of these words are what happen when a planet retrogrades. Well, then it kind of stops and tracks backwards, so we go back over that energy, and then it stops and it stations again, and then it starts to move forward again, and it kind of picks up speed and goes on its merry way. Well, if you think about it, the human race at the moment is kind of being forced into its very own retrograde. So rather than seeking out there or looking out there, this is a time to go within. What is your soul trying to learn? What is it that you are releasing at this moment in time? And what is it that you are welcoming in as a result of all of this that's taking place on this sort of deeper level? If you haven't seen it, I did a series recently on the spring equinox for the different different elements of the zodiac. Check that out. It's on a playlist, and you can find that on the channel. Just hit the playlist button and you'll be able to find it. With that said, this is kind of a mini blurb to explain why the different format, what it kind of means, how it's going to shape up for you. I haven't stuck to the usual format because I don't feel like it's relevant at the moment. I feel like this is the stuff that is kind of more relevant for us, and will probably be more relevant for us over the course of the next week. So let me know, do you love it? Do you loathe it? And with that said, you are heading into your personal taroscope for the week ahead. Take care, love you much, and I'll see you soon. Hi Cancer, my lunar brothers and sisters, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. And before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help us on our paths to our highest vibrational good. So my moon sign brothers and sisters, let's have a look. See, you've seen the blurb, hopefully. If you haven't, please watch it and you'll understand why we have a different format. All right, so with that said, what is it that your soul is trying to learn at this moment in time? The Three of Pentacles, right? So what your soul is trying to learn at this moment in time, and this is the thing, right? We've all been born, we've all been incarnated for a reason at this time. We chose to come here. As much as I fought against that idea in the early days, I've now come to understand that it really is true. With your Three of Pentacles, what your soul is trying to learn at this moment in time is that you can learn, that you have a great mind. This is about you understanding that you don't need a school, you don't need a university. If you want to learn something, if you want to know something, if you want to be good at it, there is a way for you to do that. We've got the internet, we've got books, we've got online courses. There are a million ways for you to learn. Now, in this day and age, anything that you want to learn is completely at your disposal. It's at your fingertips. The Three of Pentacles is asking you to pay attention to what it is that you feel drawn to at this moment in time. Is there something that you've been itching or burning to study and you can't figure out why? Your soul is basically saying to you, now is the time where you should be learning. Learning is what you're trying to learn at this moment in time. Your soul is reaching for its purpose right now, and it wants you to study. So if you, I don't know, over the last week or two have suddenly started thinking, you know what, I'd really like to study dentistry, or I'd really like to study, I don't know, mathematics, or you know what, I wish I'd gone to school or to college to study A, B and C. Whatever that is, pick up a book, open Google, get onto Reddit, go onto Medium. There's a million different ways that you can learn things nowadays, you know, and Cancerians are actually very smart, a lot smarter than people give them credit for. Because everyone's like, oh, you know, they're all in their feelings and it's all about lovey-dovey stuff. Well, actually, Cancer's quite ruthless. And when they latch onto something, the pincers, they can really do very well. This is this whole idea of really gaining security. Well, in the days ahead, as we move into, as all of the planets start to move into Aquarius, what's going to be important? What's going to be the currency? Information, knowledge, things that you know, skills that you have. These are going to be the things that are the currency. It's not going to be little pieces of paper and bits of gold anymore. All right, so it's time for you to start understanding that whatever you're being drawn to learn at this moment in time, that's what your soul wants you to learn. All right, what are you releasing? What is it that you're letting go of? The Tower, right? This is interesting. It also tells me there's something about to happen on the wider world stage when it comes to schooling, when it comes to universities, when it comes to learning institutions. Something is about to change here. And I'm talking across the board. I don't know whether this is going to, because a lot of people are calling for financial student loans and stuff to be forgiven. I'm not sure it's going to be that, but it does look like something to do with the institutions of learning is about to change. Sorry, every so often Tarot interrupts and has something to say of his own volition. In terms of what it is that you're releasing, what is it that you're releasing on a personal level? The Tower card is about shock, it's about surprise, it's about rebellion and revolution. It's about the cracking of illusions. So when you're releasing the Tower, this is about you letting go of being shocked by anything. This is about you letting go of this idea that everything is as it's going to be. This is about you learning to move with the times effectively. What you're releasing right now as well is anything that you have told yourself is secure that isn't. This is going to be a week, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks where you're really going to start to understand and start to let go of what you thought was solid, what you thought was able to stand the test of time. This is the week where you're going to be releasing those things. Now, this isn't a message for you to start throwing the baby out with the bathwater, but it is a message for you to really start to now get very clear on what it is that actually has a place in your space, in your life, in your heart, in your mind, your soul, all of it. This is about you getting really clear on that. And this week you'll be making or starting to implement some very big personal changes. What are you welcoming in? The High Priestess. This is our card, right? Whether you're a sun, moon, or ascendant Cancerian, the High Priestess is the card that rules this sign, right? She is all things psychic. She is all things, from the other realm. And this is what you're welcoming in. Other, new, revolutionary ways to gain knowledge and information, allowing your soul and your intuition to speak to you. This is welcoming in your gift of psychic awareness and ability, welcoming in or learning to work with and adapt your intuition to specific moments or experiences. The difference between intuition and psychic ability: intuition is something that all of us have, that is instinctual and inbuilt. Psychic ability is being able to focus that intuition to gain information and knowledge on the things that you want and need. That's the difference between the two. And what you're welcoming in, it looks like this week, is your ability to intuit and also choose what it is that you pick up. This is going to be a week where you're really learning to develop your inward skills, which is beautiful and also very powerful. So for your key to the week, different format this week, let's have a look, see. You've got the Judgment card. So it looks like whatever it is that's coming up this week, whatever it is that you feel drawn to, it is something that you have either tried to do before, wanted to do before, but never got round to, or something that you said, oh, you know what, maybe it's not time, or maybe it's not what I'm supposed to be doing. This week you can be revisiting things that you thought were done. And this is actually a good thing, because you'll start to be able to, assimilate what is actually important to you now and release what no longer is. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Oh, and remember, there's a whole community here. Talk to each other, communicate with each other, comment, say hi, send me emails. I will, do my best to get back to everyone.